Good morning, students. So, this is the second part of the poem The Soldier, written by Rupert Brooke. In the first part, I have given you an introduction about the poet and the environment of England at that time. And now, in this lecture, I am giving you a detailed commentary, a detailed discussion of the poem The Soldier. The Soldier poem is one of the five sonnets. So it is a sonnet and it is five sonnets which he wrote, which Robert Brooke wrote, and which were published in 1914. They were written in a number and it was published in new numbers. There was a journal, new numbers, and these five poems were published in that journal. It was commented by Dean of Inge. The Dean of Inge also commented on this, on these poetry, and he described and he commented in these words as the enthusiasm of pure and elevated patriotism. Unquote. What does this mean? That these poems are full of patriotic feelings. They are purely patriotic feelings because the British soldiers were fighting war in a foreign fields. They were fighting war far away from England, and it was necessary to boost their morale. And these poems are full of patriotism. It is in the tradition of other patriotic poems like Tennyson. Tennyson, of the poet of Victorian age, also wrote poems of patriotic fervor, pure patriotic feelings. The poem Below, Bugle Below is the most famous. The Charge of the Last Brigade, his poem is very famous. The sonnet, this sonnet follow a rhyme scheme, and that rhyme scheme is A B A B C D C D, and the last six lines consist of E F G E F G. So this is the poetic pattern of this sonnet. It was also a period when the British domain was extended to far off lands. So when 1914 was a period when Britain has a lot of colonies under him. The British domain was spread to far off country, to far off lands. And it was also said that the sun never sets in British Empire. What does it mean that? So they have so many countries in their domain, in their colony, in their imperialism, that somewhere the sun rises when there is somewhere there is a day. So their imperialism, their domain was spread to such far off lands. The British soldiers were employed in many other countries to maintain law and order situation. The British soldiers were also sent to these foreign countries to maintain law and order. In this way, the poet refers, therefore the poet refers, if any British soldiers dies in any corner of the world, the poet, look at how the poet boosts the morale of the British soldiers, and he says that if any British soldier dies in a far off country, in a corner of the world, he must not think that he had died in a foreign country. The soldier must not think that he has died in a foreign country. Why? Because England, because in a foreign country, because it belongs to England. The foreign country does not foreign to them, but it belongs to them. It is shaped and taught manners to its people. Look at their feeling of imperialism, so feeling of superiority. They think that they have shaped and taught them the manners and made them civilized of that country. Otherwise, the people of that land was uncivilized. They don't have any manners. So, if any British soldiers dies in a far off land, he should consider that he died not in a foreign country but in his own land, because that land is shaped and taught manners by the British rulers. The country is flourishing because of their hard work and wisdom. Look at their thinking that they have made the country flourishing, progressing, the happiness which they are enjoying. It is given by the British government and their wisdom. They have also created all the necessary things in that country, and they have also developed the infrastructure facilities of that country. So they have contributed quite a lot in development of that country. That's why the British soldiers must not think that they have died in a foreign country, because this country belonged to them. Similarly, they have developed among these people the British way of thinking. And the most important thing that they have inculcated the British thought of mind, that how they think, and because they have taken control of their teaching, what kind of subjects, what kind of things they should be taught, it was decided by them. So they have made them to think like British soldiers, like Britishers, you can say. Therefore, it is an honor if the British soldier dies and buried into the dust of that country. So instead of feeling bad and sad that they are not able to die in their homeland, they should feel pride, because they have been buried in a country which was shaped and maintained by the Britishers. In this way, the poet boosts the morale of the British soldiers fighting on far off countries. The sacrifice of one's life for a noble cause is a great achievement. This is the second part. The second point, he says that this is a great achievement when you die for a noble cause. It removes all kind of feelings and from your and bad feelings from your heart. So the poet gives an example that if a British soldier dies in a foreign country, they are fighting for a noble cause. Look at they are making our slave. They were exploiting, but they think that they are here to make them civilized, and that's why that if they die in that, they are fighting for a noble cause. The soul is instantly liberated and mixes with the eternal mind. Eternal mind means the God. If the person dies fighting in a foreign country, and then his soul is liberated, they get salvation. Look at the ways in which the poet is trying to boost the morale of the British soldiers. The person's mind is full of with the love of the country. He reflects upon the moments which he has lived with his friends. The soldiers can recollect the time which they have lived with their friends and people of that country. Although he would miss many sights and sounds, he would feel that bad that he is not able to see his friends and the places which he used to go in England or in their country. But the sacrifice for the supreme cause provides him absolute peace of mind. But the cause for which they were sacrificing to extend the British imperialism was a sacred cause, was a great noble cause for them. Then they would think that their life is no more important. He would be duly rewarded by God for his sacrifices. Now look at that, how the poet has tried to incite the religious feelings among the soldiers, that their soul will be liberated and they would get reward from the God for this noble cause. In this way, the poem, The Soldier, expresses the mood of British people at the time of the beginning of the First World War. The poet boosts morale of the British soldiers. He tries to tell them they were fighting for a noble cause. Similarly, the expressions, the poet uses these expressions, some corner of foreign field, forever England, and just like that, a dust whom England bore, shaped, made aware, etc., reflect British feeling of imperialism. The, the poet uses repeatedly certain expressions, certain phrases which gave the feeling of imperialism. So, in other words, we can say that the poet tries to support the British imperialism, and he tries to boost the morale of the British soldiers who were fighting in a foreign country. Although we were a colony, we should look at it with a critical view of view, but the writer, the poet, was trying to boost the morale of his soldiers.